Hello, everyone. Welcome to session on how to perform correlation analysis in Excel. I'll show you step by step how to get started, what correlation means, and how Excel makes it easy for us. So, let's get started. Now, let's understand what correlation analysis really means. It's a method used in statistics to check if two things are related. More specifically, it tells us whether two values move together. Correlation helps us find out whether such relationships exist and how strong they are. In very simple terms, correlation shows us whether two things move in the same direction, in opposite directions, or are not connected at all. So, why is correlation useful? First, it helps us identify relationships. If we know two things are linked, like customer satisfaction and repeat purchases, we can use that knowledge to improve our business strategies. Second, correlation provides predictive insights. That means if we know one value, we can often make a good guess about the other. Third, correlation supports decision-making. Businesses, researchers, and analysts often use it to decide where to invest time and resources. Lastly, correlation simplifies data. When we have a lot of numbers and variables, it can be overwhelming. Correlation helps us focus only on the important connections, making it easier to understand the data and make decisions. Now, let's learn about an important term in correlation analysis, the correlation coefficient, often written as R. This is a number that tells us how strong and in what direction two variables are related. It can be any number between -1 and +1. If R is close to +1, it means we have a positive correlation. This means both variables move in the same direction. For example, as a person's education level increases, their income usually increases too. You can see this in the graph on the left. As variable X goes up, variable Y also goes up in a nice upward line. If R is close to -1, it means we have a negative correlation. This means the two variables move in opposite directions. A good example is price and demand. As the price of a product goes up, the demand usually goes down. In the middle graph, you can see that as X increases, Y decreases, the line slopes down. And if R is close to 0, we say there is no correlation. That means there's no clear pattern between the two variables. For example, there's no connection between shoe size and intelligence. They are totally unrelated. You can see in the rightmost graph that the data points are all over the place, with no clear trend. In this slide, we are going to focus on what the actual value of the correlation coefficient, or R, means. Let's begin with R equals +1. This means we have a perfect positive correlation. When one variable increases, the other one increases at exactly the same rate. Next, we have R equals -1. This is the opposite, a perfect negative correlation. It means that as one variable increases, the other decreases in perfect proportion. Lastly, when R equals 0, it means there's no correlation at all between the two variables. There's no clear pattern. One variable changing doesn't tell us anything about the other. Before we jump into actually doing the correlation analysis in Excel, it's very important to prepare our data properly. If the data isn't clean or organized well, the results can be wrong or Excel might not even accept it. First, make sure each variable is in its own column. Don't mix them together. Next, each row should represent one observation or case. Also, make sure there are no missing values or blank cells in the columns you're analyzing. Finally, make sure there are no text entries in columns that should have numbers. Excel can't calculate correlation if some of the values are words like not applicable or unknown. Now, let's learn how to actually calculate correlation in Excel using a built-in formula called the CORREL function. This function is used to find the Pearson correlation coefficient, which tells us how strong and in what direction two sets of numbers are related. The syntax, or the structure, of this function is equals CORREL, array 1, array 2. Here, array 1 is the range of cells for your first variable, for example, the column showing how much money was spent on advertising. Array 2 is the range of cells for your second variable, such as the column with sales revenue. When you enter this formula in Excel and press Enter, Excel will give you a number between -1 and +1. That number tells you the direction and strength of the relationship, just like we discussed earlier. Let's now try calculating the correlation between advertising spend and sales revenue using Excel's CORREL function. This is very easy to do once your data is organized. First, click on an empty cell where you want to display the result. Then type the formula, equals CORREL. Then select Array 1, which is A2, A31. For Array 2, select the range B2, B31. After typing the formula, press Enter. Excel will instantly return the correlation value, also called the R value. Next, to make it easier to read and more precise, format the result by right-clicking the cell, choosing Format Cells, selecting Number, and setting it to 4 decimal places. And that's it. You've now calculated the correlation between two variables using the CORREL function in Excel. This number tells us how strongly and in which direction advertising and sales are related. Now, let's talk about another way to do correlation analysis in Excel by using the Data Analysis Toolpak. This is a special feature in Excel called an add-in, which means it's not always turned on by default. But once it's enabled, it gives you access to powerful tools like correlation, regression, and descriptive statistics, all in one place. To start using it, we first need to enable the Toolpak. It's very easy. These are the steps to enable Excel Data Analysis Toolpak. First, go to the File menu and then click Options. On the left-hand side, choose Add-ins. At the bottom of the window, you'll see a box next to the word Manage. Click it and select Excel Add-ins and then click Go. A pop-up will appear. In that pop-up, look for Analysis Toolpak and make sure the box is checked. Then click OK. Now you'll see a new button called Data Analysis under the Data tab in your Excel ribbon. Once that's available, you can use it to do more advanced analysis, like correlation, without needing to write formulas. Now that we've enabled the Data Analysis Toolpak, let's learn how to actually run the correlation analysis using it. First, go to the Data tab on the Excel ribbon at the top of your screen. On the right-hand side, you'll now see a new button called Data Analysis. Click on that. When the Data Analysis window opens, you'll see a list of different analysis tools. Scroll through and select Correlation, then click OK. Let's now see how to calculate the correlation between advertising spend and sales revenue using the Data Analysis Toolpak in Excel. First, go to the Data tab on the Excel ribbon. On the far right, click on the Data Analysis button. When the Data Analysis window appears, scroll down and select Correlation, then click OK. Now, in the new pop-up window, select the input range. Make sure to include the column names in your selection. For example, you might select A1, B31 if your data is in 2 columns from row 1 to 31. Next, check the box that says Labels in first row, so Excel knows not to treat the column headers as numbers. Then, choose an output range. This is where you want the correlation results to appear on your worksheet. Finally, click OK. Excel will instantly generate a correlation table showing the R values between the variables. According to the result, the correlation between advertising spend and sales revenue is 0.9263, showing a strong positive relationship. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial on how to perform correlation analysis in Excel. If you found it useful, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more easy and practical data analysis tips. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.